Detroit rapper is going viral for something other than her music.
Fans know her as Dank Damas, and they're fuming after a Lyft driver allegedly denied her a ride because of her size. And Fox News' Jessica Dupinack is live in Detroit with this story. And my goodness, tell us how this all unfolded here, Jessica.
Well, it all unfolded on video. Deja Bamlin whipped out her phone when this all happened. Now, the Lyft driver, he was kind enough and apologetic, but refused her a ride and said that she would not fit and that her weight couldn't be handled by his tires. Now she's filing a lawsuit.
Based on what?
Have you been in cars that size before?
Yes, I have.
And you shouldn't have.
I've been in cars smarter than that.
And you shouldn't have. That's not an answer.
They didn't give a fuck about
Hold on. Let's just keep it gangster right from the beginning. Just because you've been in a vehicle before and you somehow fit and you tax the fuck out of the fucking vehicle, suspension and tires and wheels does not mean that now every future car of that same size you're permitted that it's just fine if you go in there. It's not. You motherfuckers never seen somebody driving around the whole back of the car leaning down? Yeah.
I've seen ones where they had sparks coming out of it because
it was
the whole
dragging.
bumper was dragging.
Right, like, stop this fucking nonsense. This woman looks like she weighs over 400 pounds. 500 pounds. You don't belong in the back seat of a fucking Toyota Corolla. I don't know what to tell you.
A Detroit Lions watch party.
Look at this shit, man. This is ridiculous.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
No.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires. You know, like
the driver.
You know, like what? You see, this comes from somebody who doesn't know anything about anything. You know nothing about cars, yet you have the audacity to act like the tires is not a thing. It's definitely a thing, especially if he's got low fucking air pressure to begin with. What are you talking about? If a car weighs 3,000 pounds or 2,500 pounds, I mean small cars weigh 2,500 pounds. You weigh 500 pounds. You're increasing the weight of the vehicle by 20%.
And that's the reason why we have trucks to begin with, to do heavy duty lifting, just as in do
carry heavy shit and stuff like that.
They do construction. They carry heavy boulders, blocks, and everything else, cinder blocks and everything else. And that's the reason why they're built in that way, to withstand that weight of the cinder blocks and everything else that they use for construction. Yeah. So why would you sit here and insist that this man damage his car, knowing the fact that we literally have cars made to handle specific weights?
Why do you think they got an Uber XL and then Uber regular?
Right.
Bro, it's because some things don't fit in certain size vehicles.
You see
it's not that
commercials
complicated.
for trucks, and the reason why trucks are used for mountains and this and that and pulling and towing.
The problem is that
you need a tow truck.
The problem is that people... I need a tow truck with this big bitch, right?
Yeah.
The fuck out of here. Like, a flatbed truck for her big ass. What's wrong with her, right? The issue is that people are allowing people's feelings to outstrip reality.
And facts.
Right. It doesn't matter how you feel. They're discriminating. Bitch, you don't fit. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. So when you get on an airplane and you don't fit in one seat and they tell you gotta buy a second seat, now what? You're being discriminated against too, right? When you don't fit through the fucking aisle. That last stupid fat bitch said the same shit. She didn't fit through the goddamn plane aisle and the plane people should make a bigger aisle. No, bitch. You should get smaller and be the size of a normal human being.
We don't... The people around you do not have to accommodate to make you feel better because you feel insecure about how the situation is going down because of the simple fact that you are overweight. So
but
the world doesn't have to...
You don't think she's overweight.
You have to accommodate your life
to other people.
Because you put yourself in the predicament of putting on extra weight that is unnecessary and dangerous to your health for you
and to everyone else's safety.
Right. Because you can't go into an elevator with your weight being half a ton, knowing the fact that if 5 more people, 6 more people come in, that the elevator is going to drop and it's going to break.
Listen,
that's the reason why we have weights.
Weight limits and shit like that. Yeah, it's not that complicated. It's like, you're not going to put 500 pounds of bricks in the back of a fucking Honda Civic. You're just not going to do that. So it's like, I think this is a generational thing. That's what I think this is. That people born after a certain time period, who went to school after a certain time period, because you were no longer allowed to bully people in school after my era. I graduated high school in 2008. After that, like period before that, after that there was no bullying. You couldn't say nothing to nobody. I mean, that's not too bad. But the problem is that they took that too far. Mm-hmm. They took it to the extreme of everybody's opinion matters, no matter what it is. Just the fact that you have an opinion and you're saying it. People are saying that you should be entitled, that you should be entitled to say it. You are. And that people should give credibility to it. They don't. Because when we were in school, when you said something fucking stupid, people told you it was stupid. Now, you can't do that. You tell someone, so no, but their opinion matters. Not if it's wrong.
Right.
That's the thing that you new motherfuckers have just forgotten. If you're wrong, your opinion does not matter. It doesn't.
Nah, we just got rid of negative critiquing because it
Right.
hurts other people's feelings. But the thing is, negative critiquing of others or yourself helps you become better.
Right.
It helps you improve, and improvement is always good.
Right. But you have to understand that the way she views things, that she doesn't need improvement. She's not fat. She's just big boned. That's how they was talking back in the day. And this is the same argument. She's not fat. She's just, this is the size she is. So as if being fat is an immutable characteristic, like being a woman or being black. Like, it's not that you can change these. You can change this by working out. Yeah. And in fact, doctors will indicate that you are unhealthy based on your current characteristics.
You have no discipline. You when things get rough, you have a tendency to possibly overeat or overindulge in something that makes you happy without having a cutoff to say, okay, this is too much, because too much of anything is bad for you, whether it's good or bad. Too much of anything.
Body positivity and people who talk about fat phobia. You can only be phobic of something if
you're afraid.
No, I know, but in this situation, they speak about being fat as if it's an immutable characteristic, as something you can't change. Therefore, you should be protected against being discriminated against for your immutable characteristics. Mm-hmm. That's how America is generally set up, right? You can't discriminate against people for their color, race, origin, creed, shit like that, right? But being fat don't count, and it's never gonna count.
Right, I can't change the color of my skin.
You can get on a treadmill, do that, and prevent yourself from having a coronary or getting type 2 diabetes. I don't want to hear it.
His tires could not handle her weight.
He couldn't. The suspension can't either.
Axle, everything.
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
You know what? I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there.
Yeah.
The rapper says she's pretty tough. Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
I don't care.
Like Lyft
no one gives a fuck.
Pretty soon too.
I knew it was illegal.
No one cares if it hurts your feelings, bitch.
Let me guess something. If it hurts your feelings, but you guess what? When his car is hurt because his axle's blown,
right?
It's gonna hurt him more when he has to come out of his pocket to pay for that car.
If he hits a pothole with you in it, it's gonna be a big problem.
Guess what? Your feelings are hurt. You can dust him off because he's just one person. You can go into the next person, they might take you, or whatever the case may be. It's fleeting. Your emotion is fleeting. It will not remain. But that burnt out pocket of that man who has to fix his car, that is something that he has to work hard for
and look
to
at this
get
fucking lawyer.
back.
And look at this lawyer, you fucking ambulance chaser. I'm an attorney too. You're a rat for taking this fucking case. This nigga here, you're a rat for taking this fucking case. You're an ambulance chaser. That's what you are. Because this case is frivolous. This is you know it. This is a nonsense fucking case. But you're suing Lyft, hoping Lyft will just settle and make this go away without having to deal with any publicity or anything like that. And they just might.
If they're dumb, but there's
no, not if they're dumb, bro. They just might. Because it costs money to litigate fucking cases, bro.
True.
That's what I do. I work for corporations. It costs money to litigate fucking cases. It will cost less to pay her a little couple thousand than it will to pay me to defend the case.
You think that they'll only go up for a little bit of $1,000? She'll end up demanding more.
I know, but what I'm saying is her and the lawyer know this is a bullshit case. So when that's what they do, the same thing when they were filing some of those sexual cases against Diddy. Some of those cases are bullshit, but they file them knowing that it may be too difficult or too embarrassing for certain people in order to defend it. They do it to a lot of other people too. Yeah. File frivolous lawsuits. So instead of going through the money, having to pay your lawyer, then having to deal with the bad publicity and potential negative impact on your company, and your profits and everything like that. Instead, just settle the case for like 20, 30,000 or whatever and make it go away. That's nothing for Lyft. But the problem is that this is bullshit and you know it. The fuck out of here, man.
Go on, I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my...
It's not. And even if there's a law that has been passed in Michigan, because ain't no law like that in New York, but if they pass a law like that in Michigan that makes them a protected class, that still doesn't matter in a circumstance where the facts will outstrip that. Right? There's no facts that will indicate that having a black person in your car, having a woman in your car would do anything. But there are weight limits for vehicles.
Yep.
So at a certain point, you weigh too much. You may damage the vehicle. That is facts. He would agree that you can't put something that's 2,000 pounds in the back of a Honda Civic, right? How much does she weigh? There is a point, and we can get the manufacturer specifications. We can call somebody from Honda or whoever built that fucking car and ask them, what's the maximum weight you can put in the back of this fucking thing before it starts having negative effects on the vehicle? And if you can prove that, you lost. Like I said, it's a dog shit case. Stop fucking playing with me.
My car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car.
It's not.
Muslims in my car.
It's not.
The same
And you know better.
It's the same.
It's not, and you know better.
Filed since she posted the encounter on social media.
It's not, and you know better.
Figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
Good.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, it's
Yes, I can.
No, fuck you.
I really
Not
want people
breaking
to
my car.
see like what we go through as bigger people. You know.
Bigger people.
You weren't born like that.
You're not a bigger person. You're a normal person with no self-control, and you just ate yourself until you became a blimp. You're not special. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why they passed that law to make that shit a protected class. Get the fuck out of here. Go in the gym.
They say life is hard. Choose your hard. Being overweight is hard. Being fit is hard because you got to put in that work to maintain it. Choose your hard.
Rat behavior, bro. Rat fucking
You have
behavior.
choices, and you chose to completely do nothing.
Yeah.
And you just got overweight. You chose that. So you continue to do nothing and then got overweight. Now you're living a hard life. Guess what? People who are fit live a hard life too. Because you think you want to do that shit? Fuck no, you don't want to do that shit. You want to be able to sit down and do nothing.
Eat Cheetos like this bitch.
Right. Choose your hard. You chose your hard, now you have to live in it. You made your bed, now live in it.
Because what's she gonna do? Sue the airline company when they tell you need a second seat? You physically cannot fit in the seat.
Listen, I'm getting off the plane if a motherfucker will refuse. Because I'm not trying to go down in the plane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You taking over, not even going down, but you taking over people's seats and shit like that. They could have you buy another seat. No seat available. Maybe they take you off the plane. Like, that's logical. That's normal. That's factual. There's nothing to do with them discriminating against you. I don't want to fucking hear it. This is dog shit.
We did reach out to Lyft. They did not get back with us.
No, move to dismiss the case.
Now, Lyft, Uber, those rideshare companies, they can refuse passengers based on a perceived security threat. But according to Deja's attorneys, you cannot discriminate based on someone's weight. It's very clear in that cell phone video. That is why he denied her ride.
Yeah, it is. But it's not just that. And like I said, you low IQ people who just don't understand how any of this shit works, it's not just that. It's not just, oh, he said it because I was fat. Therefore, I automatically win the case because the law says so. The law is written that way, but there are nuances. And one of the nuances is that if, in fact, you damage the vehicle by being in there at that weight, he is not required to damage his vehicle in order to protect your feelings.
Right.
Never. That could never happen.
Safety over feelings, period. That's all it is.
And safety and property damage.
Right. It's not for the fact that he doesn't want to take you anywhere or anything like that. It's over property damage and safety. Mm-hmm. You don't do things unless it's not safe. Like, you wouldn't do.
And in fact, even if the math proves that she could fit in the car and that the car would be barely okay and would limp its way there and make it,
still no.
Based on his reasonable observation, he's not taking out a tape measure or has a scale. Right. So he can only go by what a reasonable person would think. And a reasonable person would think that she can't fit in there. Right. You ain't gonna win this case. But like I said, they'll probably settle it. To not have to go through all this shit, to not have to call witnesses, to fucking find people in the company, do all that. That shit is so expensive. To do all this shit. So instead of that, they'll just settle it for a few thousand. I guarantee that's what they're gonna do. But hey, You let me know what you think in the comments. How does shit make sense? Because if she's right, then she would be right on the plane industry too, and she can sue the airline because she can't fit through the aisle or she can't fit there, and so they can't take her, physically can't take her. And yet somehow you think you're entitled to money. This is rat behavior. Yeah. Get on the fucking treadmill and stop this bullshit. Fuck out of here.